Dr. Datta, Ningol Chakoba actually reminds me of a festival in Assam, which is celebrated by the tea garden community called Tusu Puja. So what are the origins of this festival?
Yes, Tusu Puja is just celebrated 2 months after, we can say, Deepavali and Ningol Chakoba. Tusu Puja is celebrated in the month of January, towards January end, among the tea garden communities of Assam. And Tusu Puja is another Hindu festival of the tea garden communities, which is celebrated around the same time as Makar Sankranti. And Makar Sankranti, among the different Vanavasi communities of Purvottar Bharat, Makar Sankranti is known by different names, such as it is known as Manghi amongst the Boros, it is known as Daduri amongst the Rabhas, Aran Chalong amongst the Adis of Arunachal Pradesh, then among the Garos, Makar Sankranti is known as Mangona, etc. So it has different names. Tusu Puja or Tusu Parab, it is celebrated around the same time as Makar Sankranti. It is a lesser known but a quite popular Hindu festival that falls in mid-January. And since it is celebrated on the same day as Makar Sankranti, almost on the same day as Makar Sankranti, many scholars have argued that it is the worship of Makar Bahini or Devi Ganga. And Tusu Puja, it is a Hindu religious festival which is celebrated in honor of Tusu Devi. Tusu Devi is worshipped as the goddess of agriculture and believed to be the supreme epitome of Shakti by the communities who celebrate this festival. In Assam, Tusu Puja coincides with the festival of Magh Bihu, and it is celebrated with much grandeur among the socio-economically marginalized Vanavasi communities of the tea garden areas. The name Tusu has been derived from the Bengali word tush. Tush refers to the outer coating of paddy, or which is more popularly known as rice bran, and it is a derivative from the Sanskrit root word usha or osha. And the celebrations of Tusu Puja, they begin from the first day of the month of Posh, after the harvest of the Amon paddy crop or the winter crop. And they continue for almost a month till the last day of Posh, that is Posh Sankranti or Makar Sankranti. The unmarried girls of the village, they make beautiful murtis of Tusu Devi, which are worshipped on the day of the festival. And Tusu Devi is visualized among these communities as a chaste young virgin girl and a cosmic Devi whose images are drawn on pictures in the Alpana style of painting. And a get-together is organized in the house of a selected person where the girls gather together to sing at least one song every night before going to sleep. And this process continues for 29 days. On the final day, that is on the 30th day, women exchange garlands and they fry 8 different varieties of pulses, which are given as an offering to Ma Tusu or Tusu Devi, along with a plate of locally grown rice. So Tusu Parab is a festival of socio-religious significance that celebrates femininity, that celebrates womanhood. It acts as a medium of devotional and spiritual expression for both young girls and married women. The origins of Tusu Puja, they have been traced on the basis of 3 different stories prevalent in different parts of Eastern India. The first story goes so that a prince marries a beautiful young maiden of the region named Tusumoni, who was the daughter of a poor potter. However, the prince died at a very early age, leaving behind the young Tusumoni. And out of deep sorrow, Tusumoni decided to commit suicide by self-immolating herself in the funeral pyre of her dead husband. And it is since then that the local people of the area have been commemorating this sad incident by observing Tusu Parab in the memory of Tusumoni. The second story is about a king who passionately wanted to marry an extremely beautiful and attractive village girl named Tushmuni or Tusu. But the king could not marry her due to her untimely demise at a very young age. Then the king subsequently lost his mental balance as a result of the deep pain suffered by him because of this unfortunate incident. And in order to console the grieving king, the villagers made a statue of Tushmuni and kept it near the king's palace. And this tradition has been kept alive by the local people of this region. And the murti of Tushmuni is made every year since then as a mark of the grand celebrations of Tusu Parab. The third story narrates the tale of a Mughal king who wanted to marry a potter's daughter named Tusumani after he was being deeply smitten by her beauty. Her father was a rich Kurmi landlord who disapproved of the marriage on the ground that the king was a mleccha or foreigner. And thereafter, the king started physical abuse and torture of the poor innocent villagers. Tusumani's father fixed her marriage with another groom, but the Mughal king killed her fiancé too and tortured his family members. And angered by the defiance of the landlord, he then tried to kidnap Tusumani. She was later rescued with the assistance of the soldiers of her father, but unable to bear the embarrassment, Tusumani ultimately decided to end her life by plunging into the waters of the river Damodar, that is today known as Sati Ghat, among the Kudumi community of Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, and Orissa. And the Kudumi community also celebrates Tusu Puja with a great fanfare. And the belief is that it was on the day of Makar Sankranti that Tusumani committed suicide. So this is the common belief that prevails across the regions where Tusu Puja is celebrated in Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, certain parts of West Bengal and Assam. And the family members of the society, they felt utterly desolate and helpless after this painful incident. And since then, Tusu came to be worshipped as a Devi, as a goddess by the followers of the landlord for her supreme sacrifice. And it gradually became a tradition in the form of Tusu Puja, which is clearly evident from the Tusu Geets prevailing in the region. And the story of Tusu is sometimes also related to the beauty of Rani Padmini of Chittor, who embraced Johar to save her faith and identity from the wrath of Alauddin Khilji. So in a way, the story of Tusumani also gives us an idea of the Islamic invasions which attacked the life and culture of the natives and their resistance to not accept a foreign religion, a foreign faith at any cost. But the main point is, although there exist some variations in the names, places, and characters of the stories, but the common element in each of them is the suicide committed by this beautiful girl called Tusu in order to protect her purity and chastity. And it was her self-sacrifice which eventually came to be celebrated as a symbol of self-restraint and thus took the shape of this festival.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.